Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different video to share. First of all, it's a card making video and it's also a review video of the Arteza Everblend alcohol markers. Arteza was so kind and sent them to me so I could try them out, and they came in this really cool packaging. It's perfect for traveling, I think, and there is also space for some more markers. This set I'm having here is the 60 markers set. It comes with a big variety of colors and they are all numbered, and you have also a little color chart with your box where you can have the names and you immediately know which colors you have. I am very new to alcohol markers. I have some of a super cheap brand from the local action store, but I have not often used them, and now that I got the Arteza ones, I had time to play with them a little and try them out, and I will share a card making video today where I use these markers to color in the flowers I'm using. You just saw it that you have a fine tip and also a chisel tip on the markers. For my card video, I start by creating the background of my cards, and I just make some black stripes with acrylic paint. I try to keep the stripes very loose because I love that look together with flowers. The paper that I'm using is, I believe, either cardstock or watercolor paper. I'm not sure at the moment, and it's also not so important. You can make the same technique with watercolors and watercolor paper. I recently shared a video on my IGTV channel where I created a colorful background with watercolors and also these stripes. Where the background is drying, I stamped the rubber dance loose florals to some perfect coloring paper, and I've used the Memento Dye Inks because they work with alcohol markers, and I picked out different color shades from the Everblend markers to color in my flowers. I will use a very loose coloring technique today because I think it looks better with that loose florals. And I have already used those markers in another video before where I did a more detailed coloring, and I will link this up in the top right corner info box. I really enjoy working with these markers. They have wonderful colors and they come of course also with a blender. And with that blender you can use the kissing technique. That means you put the blender together with your color nib, and then the color will flow a little bit into the blender, and so you can create various shades of each color. I'm using the chisel tip here to quickly spread in the colors, and I can't say anything against these markers. I have not so much experiences, especially not with expensive markers such as Copics, but I think they are really fun to use and they work really nice when it comes to blending, but I think it's always something that has to do with your paper that you're using, and I saw in other videos that perfect coloring paper must be the best for alcohol markers. I just checked the Amazon price for the Arteza markers today and it's around 60 euros. I think normally it's 70 euros for 60 markers. That's around 1 euro for one marker, and I think that's a very interesting price in comparison to the expensive alcohol markers out there. I also have an extra 10% discount code for you for the Arteza products in my description box. I think if I would buy myself the markers, I would go for the bigger set, for the 120 colors, because I like to have a lot of different shades. That makes it much easier to color in, especially when you want to do some detail coloring. But I'm not sure if I tell you the right thing. Maybe someone who is very experienced with markers would say, no, you don't need as much colors. I don't know. I'm really interested if you have these markers or if you have other alcohol markers. And what do you think? Do you need many colors, or does it work with less colors and use this kissing technique of the nibs? Maybe you like to tell me in the comments. Since I got these markers, I have used them a lot for this quick coloring, and I really love the result. It looks very loose and it looks very artsy. I always try to keep some white space in my images. That's the same with watercolor, loose floral paintings. You also have to keep some white so you get a higher contrast, which makes the image look more interesting. If you want to have a close-up look on my cards, you will find a link to my blog post in the description box. I will speed up the coloring process a little more so you don't get bored by seeing me coloring in all these flowers. The perfect coloring paper I'm using feels a little like Bristol paper, and I believe you could also use Bristol paper for the markers. I can't tell you anything about how long they will last because I haven't used them for so long, and for myself I think I will have them for a very long time because I don't use them daily, but they are really fun and I will definitely use them more often. When I'm done with my coloring, I cut out all the images so that I can arrange them to my cards. Before I adhere the florals, I add some metallic splatters to the card backgrounds I have created, and I also add a sentiment banner to each card. I adhered the flowers with 3D foam pads and add some Nuvo Drops as embellishments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we see us next time. Bye!